Hi, kids. Are you helping out around the house, especially during this time when you're stuck at home? It's very important that you do. And the story that I have chosen today is called Doing Chores. Keith was a boy who could never remember to do the things he was supposed to do. He forgot to feed his pet rabbits, forgot to make his bed, forgot to put away his clothes, forgot when it was his turn to help with the dishes, and he forgot to take care of his garden. He had planted some beets in the spring, and now it was hard to find the beets because there were so many weeds. "Oh, Mother," Keith would say when she reminded him about taking care of the garden, "I need to go out and play now. I don't like to pull weeds. Besides, there are so many of them, I couldn't do them all in one day." Then Mother had an idea. She said, "Keith, how would you like to make a chart?" "What's a chart?" Keith asked. "A chart is a piece of paper with lines and words on it," Mother explained. "This chart that I am talking about would help you to remember about doing your chores, and it would also help you to get your garden weeded." "How could a piece of paper with lines on it ever do that?" Keith wanted to know. "I'll show you," Mother said. Keith got a piece of paper and a pencil and a ruler, and Mother put some lines and words on the paper so that it looked like the chart that you saw in the picture. "Now," said Mother, "all you have to do is put an X every time you do one of the jobs. When you feed the rabbits this evening, put an X in the square that is opposite Monday evening. Tomorrow morning, when you feed the rabbits, put an X in the Tuesday morning square." "Yes," said Keith, "I see how to do it. And when I do the dishes, I'll put an X in that square. And when I make the bed, I'll put an X in the right square. But what does it mean when it says, 'weed 2 feet'? Are my feet weedy?" Mother laughed. "No," she said. "Your feet are all right as long as they carry you out to the garden. That means you ought to weed part of the row every day instead of trying to do it all at once. If you could weed about 2 feet every day, you would soon have it done." "How far is 2 feet?" Keith asked. "About this far," and he put his hands out to show his mother how much he meant. "Yes," Mother said, "just about that far. If you'll do that much every day, by the end of the week, you'll have the full row weeded." "That shouldn't be hard," said Keith. "I could do that in about 10 minutes. "I think you can," said Mother. "Now why don't you start filling in the chart?" So Keith ran outdoors and fed his rabbits, and ran indoors and put an X on the chart. Then he ran over to the sink and dried all of the dishes, and ran back and put an X on the chart. Then he ran upstairs to make his bed, and then ran downstairs to put an X on the chart. Then he ran out to the garden, and in about 6 minutes came back and put an X on the chart. "Why, Keith," his mother asked, "is that all the time it took to take care of your garden?" "Yes," said Keith. "It was very easy. I think I weeded about 3 feet instead of 2. "Good," said Mother. "And was it hard work?" "No," said Keith. "It was easy to do a little at a time, and I did a good job. All of the weeds are out of the part that I did. Tomorrow I think I will do 4 feet instead of 2 feet. I am a big boy, and I can do more than you thought." And do you know what happened? Next morning, when Keith went out to weed his row of beets, he decided he was going to do the whole row. He worked and took one weed out at a time, and pretty soon he got right up to the end of the row. He was very happy and ran to tell Mother, and Mother was very happy too. Boys and girls, would you like to make a chart to help you to remember to do the things that your mother wants you to do? Why don't you try it tomorrow morning and see how it works? Okay, here are your questions to think about and to talk about. Number 1, did Keith have a good memory? Number 2, how did Mother help him to remember? Number 3, was his garden weeded when Keith tried to do it all at once? How did the weeding become easy? The Bible says in 2 Timothy chapter 2 and verse 3, "Thou therefore endure hardness as a good soldier of Jesus Christ." And that means whatever you do, do it for the Lord and work hard. I hope you have a great and safe day today. And until next time, remember, Papa loves you.